Welcome back to the deep dive. When we talk about creation myths, I think most people have a very specific image in their head.
Oh, absolutely. The serene, smiling God.
Exactly. Sitting on a lotus flower, everything's glowing. There's like soft music playing in the background.
It's all very the Instagram version of the universe.
The Instagram version, that's perfect. Perfect lighting, no filters needed.
Right.
But I've been reading through the research you sent over these excerpts about the Hiranyagarbha and the Vishnu Purana, and this is not that.
Not at all.
This reads less like a serene creation and more like a founder who's having the worst product launch in history.
That is the perfect way to frame it. This is the architect's struggle. We tend to forget that in these texts, order isn't the default. Chaos is.
And getting from chaos to order is messy.
It's messy, it's violent, and it is, frankly, exhausting.
So that's our mission today. We're going to track Brahma, the creator, not as this distant god, but more like a project manager.
The project manager with a deadline that spans eternity.
And we're going to see frustration, rebellion, and something I can only describe as cosmic burnout.
It's great lens. It shows the universe wasn't built in a straight line. It was all trial and error.
So let's set the scene. We're not in a lush garden.
No, we are starting in the ultimate void. The texts describe a darkness that is absolute.
And it's hard to even wrap your head around that. It's not just dark.
No, it's the absence of everything, time, space, matter. And in this void, the source says there's a silence that lasts for 1,000 years.
1,000 years. I get anxious if my wifey goes out for 5 minutes.
Right. Imagine that pressure, the potential for everything, galaxies, stars, you, me, your morning coffee. It's all compressed into this single point.
The Hiranyagarbha.
The Hiranyagarbha.
Let's unpack that term. I know Garbha is womb or egg.
That's right. And Hiranya means gold. So the golden womb or golden egg.
It's a powerful metaphor.
It is. Gold represents light, immortality. So you have this vessel of pure light floating in a sea of absolute darkness.
And inside is Brahma.
Yes. But here's the key thing. He isn't just in the egg. He is the egg. He's the consciousness that's just waking up.
Okay, so he wakes up. It's been 1,000 years. And I love this detail from the notes. He doesn't have a toolbox.
No blueprint, no contractors.
None of that.
He has manas, his mind, his will. He has to use the sheer force of his own focus to break out.
He has to think his way out of his own prison.
Exactly. And when he finally does, the description is just visceral. It says the sound was like 1,000 thunderclaps.
1,000 thunderclaps.
But I mean, think about it, a millennium of total silence. And then suddenly, the birth of sound itself.
It's a violent rupture.
It is. The egg splits. The top half flies up, becomes the heavens, the svarga. The bottom half settles, becomes the earth, the prithvi.
But this is where it gets really interesting for me, because you'd think, okay, Earth is formed, it's ready to go. Green grass, blue water.
Move in ready, not a chance. And this is where the architect's struggle really begins. The texts describe the earth as a wasteland.
A wasteland.
Waterlogged, dark, and cold.
So Brahma's standing there. He's broken out. He's separated sky and floor, but he looks around and it's just empty.
He's the architect standing in an empty theater. The venue is built. The stage is set.
But there are no actors.
And no audience. It creates this immediate existential crisis. The texts say he felt fear and then this profound need for the other.
He can't just be the stage manager.
Right. He needs a cast. He needs beings to actually live in this world he just created.
Which leads to his first attempt at staffing the universe. And this is where the project management analogy really kicks in.
It really does. Because he doesn't go for quantity here.
No, he goes for quality. He goes straight for the C-suite executives.
He enters deep meditation. He can't just wish them into existence. He has to draw them out of his own being.
So, from his mind, he creates the first sages, the Kumaras.
Yes, the Kumaras. Sanaka, Sanadana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. The mind-born sons.
Explain that mind-born, because later on we get physical creation. Why start with the mind?
Because in this cosmology, creation always moves from the subtle to the gross, from thought to matter.
Oh, okay.
So Brahma, being pure intellect at this point, creates sons that are just like him. They're born directly from his mental state.
And because they come from his mind,
Weird.
They are impressive. The sources treat them like rebellious geniuses.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
They have his intellect, his purity. They're basically clones of his higher self.
So Brahma looks at these 4 perfect sons, and he gives them a very clear corporate mandate.
A simple directive. Go forth and populate. build families, create life. He needs them to be progenitors.
To do the messy work.
Exactly, the messy work of biology and society.
And this brings us to the real dramatic hook of this story. The strike.
The Great Refusal.
I mean, imagine the scene. You are the creator. You spent 1,000 years in an egg. You just ripped the universe apart. You've exhausted yourself creating these 4 perfect beings to help. And what did they say?
They say no.
Just flat out no. They ghosted God.
Effectively, yes. They tell their own father, we have no interest in the material world. We only want the spirit.
Wow.
You see, because they were born from his mind, they were too pure, too detached. They looked at this cold, messy, material world.
I just said, nope, not for us.
They just opted out. They wanted liberation, not procreation.
It's kind of tragic and hilarious. It's like hiring 4 Nobel Prize winning philosophers to go dig a ditch.
Exactly. They'd look at the shovel and say, this is beneath the dignity of my consciousness.
It's a total rejection of the founder's vision. Brahma wants a bustling city, and the Kumaras want a silent monastery.
They're too good for the job they were hired to do.
So how does the architect handle this insubordination?
He doesn't send a sternly worded email, I'll tell you that. The text says Brahma flew into a cosmic rage.
I love that visual, the forehead vein-popping anger.
It's such a human reaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is where the story connects to something very modern.
Let's talk about that, because when I read this, I saw someone dealing with serious burnout.
It's the archetype of modern burnout. Think about it. You've done all the heavy lifting, you've cracked the egg, built the infrastructure, laid out the whole strategy.
And when you finally delegate to the team you created for this exact purpose,
You get nothing. Zero cooperation. Zero results.
it validates that feeling so many of us have, being overworked, underappreciated, carrying the whole project alone.
And the story tells us that feeling is as old as the stars. Even the creator had a bad day at the office.
It makes him so much more relatable. He's not detached. He is stressed out.
Very stressed out.
But when we get stressed, we might, yell into a pillow. When a creator god gets stressed, things get dangerous.
Very dangerous. His anger wasn't just an emotion. It became a physical force. It concentrated right between his eyebrows.
The energy couldn't stay inside him.
It had to go somewhere.
Oh.
And this is where the story shifts from a corporate drama to, well, a horror movie.
From that explosion of anger, a new figure just bursts onto the scene.
Enter Rudra.
The roarer.
Yes. This is the first form of Shiva, born directly from Brahma's rage.
And the description is terrifying. This isn't the silent defiance of the Kumaras. This is loud.
The sensory detail here is crucial. Remember the 1,000 thunderclaps? That was the sound of creation. Rudra arrives with a howl,
A howl.
a sound that shakes the new walls of the universe. It is the sound of pure, unbridled emotion.
And his appearance is just as chaotic. The source says he was half man, half woman.
Ardhanarishvara. It represents raw, undifferentiated potential.
So what does that mean visually?
It's the totality of nature. Fierce, creative, destructive, masculine, feminine, all boiling together in one unstable form. He is the opposite of the Kumaras. They were mind. Rudra is power.
So Brahma is desperate. The smart guys, the Kumaras, walked out. Now he's got this howling force of nature in front of him.
And out of sheer desperation, he decides to pivot. He delegates again.
True, Rudra.
It's a classic rebound hire. He tells Rudra, fine, the smart kids wouldn't do it. You do it. You divide yourself. You create.
He's basically saying the intellectuals failed me, so maybe the scary loud guy can get it done.
And Rudra follows instructions.
He does.
He does, but he follows them too well. And with all the wrong energy, he starts dividing and multiplying.
This is the universe's second draft.
And it is so much worse than the first. Rudra starts creating thousands of beings in his own image, the Rudras.
They are just like him. Fierce, wild, and destructive.
Yes, fierce, immortal, and hungry. Imagine thousands of storm gods, howling spirits, just beings of pure chaos filling up this new world.
So Brahma's watching this, and he realizes his startup is about to implode.
He realizes he has made a terrible, terrible mistake. He wanted a population. He got an army of destruction.
The source has him yelling, "Stop! You're going to destroy the world before it even starts."
It's the second total failure. First, beings that were too passive.
The Kumaras.
Now beings that are way too
Or
aggressive.
the Rudras.
Exactly.
So what does he do? He can't just fire Rudra. Rudra is terrifying.
He can't. So he manages him out. He basically tells him, you are too fierce for this phase of the project. Go meditate. Go to the forest. Please stay out of the way until I need you for the destruction phase at the end of time.
That is incredible. He puts his second-born on indefinite paid leave.
Please, just go sit over there and don't touch anything. It's pure damage control.
Okay, so let's recap where we are. The architect has cracked the egg. He has been rejected by his first sons. He's been nearly destroyed by his second. And the world is still an empty wasteland.
A wasteland populated by a few sages who won't talk to anyone and a bunch of howling storms sent to time out. It is a complete and utter disaster.
It really is, and I think that's what makes this so refreshing to dive into.
What's so fascinating is that the universe wasn't built in a straight line. We think of progress as this linear thing, but this shows us it's a process of rebellion, anger, failure,
Course correction?
and a lot of course correction. Even the creator had to deal with bad hires and product failures.
Right, it makes you rethink your own struggles. If Brahma had to try a few times to get it right, maybe we can cut ourselves some slack.
Absolutely.
And speaking of trying again, the source says he does try a third time.
He does. He creates the Prajapatas.
Ah,
But that is a whole other saga of complexity.
and we are definitely going to cover that in our next deep dive, see if the third time really is the charm.
Spoiler alert, it's never that simple.
It never is. But before we wrap up this chaotic beginning, we do have a request for you, the listener.
Yes, this is important.
If you have ever felt that frustration of a project not going to plan, if you felt like the architect standing in an empty room because your team just doesn't get the vision,
Then please help us grow this digital Dharma community.
the best way to do that is to rate the show 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
It really does help us get these stories out to more people who might need to hear that, even the universe started with a very rough draft.
Your 5-star rating is the energy we need to keep this story going. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to miss our next deep dive, where we finally see the arrival of the first humans and the birth of the great rivals.
It's going to be a good one.
So what does this all mean for us today? What's the final takeaway here?
I think the final thought to leave you with is this. Visualize the architect. The egg is cracked. The first draft failed. The second nearly blew up the building. He's standing there in the dark,
He's exhausted.
completely. But he takes a deep breath. He doesn't quit. He prepares to try it one more time.
Resilience on a cosmic scale. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next deep dive.